You jolt awake. You aren't sure if it's the jostling of your body, tied to a spit at your hands and feet and carried roughly, or the fetid smell of rotting vegetation stinging your nostrils, along with what you can only guess are the noxious gases of excrement. The burlap hood covering your entire head makes it hard to see anything, but you can tell you are deep within the brush and bush, probably not far from their den now, well into their territory. Your ears are still ringing from the blow to your head, but the low croaks and moans around you are obvious. You thought their language to be primitive, but you can appreciate its depth now that it's put you in this situation. With a thud, you are cruelly dropped to the ground. Your limbs are unbound, and you are forced to your knees. The hood removed, you are now witness to a strange sight indeed. Hundreds of these frogmen, these bullywugs, face a deep pool of water in a humid and dank clearing, prostrating themselves to something unknown. Scanning your surroundings, you spot a strange plant in the center of the pool, just barely peeking above the surface among the reeds. Like a single stalk with 3 bulbs pointed in different directions. You've never seen flora like it, but it hardly seems worthy of worship. That's when a long vine slithers from the water. Well, no, not a vine. Vines don't slither. It lurches forward and wraps itself around one of the bullywugs. A look of shock and terror comes across its face as it is swiftly pulled into the water. With minimal sloshing and bubbling, the rest of the worshippers stir, but only a little. Instead, they begin to croak and chitter, the sound slowly growing into a chorus. Somehow, this has made them all the more reverent. What in the 9 hells have you gotten yourself into?
Hey there, creatures, and welcome to Encounter This, a podcast exploration of the creatures from Dungeons & Dragons and the lore that surrounds them. Well, hello there, listeners, and welcome to part 3 of Amphibious. I'm never going to be able to pronounce that right again, because I think it's Amphibious.
No, it's
but you think it's Amphibious.
Yeah, like February.
Yeah, but nobody says it like that.
I do.
February.
No, that's like saying
anyway.
the library. I'm going to the library. No.
Well, it's fine. It's Amphibious or Amphibruary, depending on who is typing it up. But welcome to part 3, the Froghemoths. I am the voice of James, not of this world kid, and the other voice you hear taking us through this wonderful episode is Freeman, susceptible to shock iced tin. And if you would like to follow along at home, you can do so in Volo's Guide to Monsters on page 145. Froghemoth.
Froghemoth. It is an amphibian.
That name leaves. I really hope we go over this name real quick because it is a visceral name.
It's it kind of just sells itself, doesn't it?
So is it an accurate name in your opinion?
Given that it is a amphibian the size of an elephant, I would say yes.
All right. Yes. You can now. The floor is now yours. All my questions have been answered.
This is a very apt question because it was literally my first note.
Perfect.
And it is a massive frog-like creature, though frog-like is really kind of stretching it physically. It's a big old thing. Size of an elephant, like I said, which is not small. And its mouth is filled with fangs and sports 4 long tentacles for arms. Its hide is thick and rubbery, and it has 3 bulbous eyes that face different directions but share a single extendable stalk on the top of its head.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see your issues with the word frog.
Yeah, tentacles, eye stalks, eye stalk. I guess. Yeah, it's an odd one. It's an amphibian, though. We can give it that.
At least we got that.
According to the wizard from long, long ago, Lum the Mad, he described these strange cylindrical chambers made of metal and buried underground. And the first Froghemoths were said to have come from within, and therefore believed to be not of this world.
Ooh, interesting. We'll see if that pays off in the stat block.
There is absolutely no reliable information that exists for where this site of metal chambers is located, and I find the fact that it was written down by someone named Lum the Mad to be a very dubious source.
Yeah, I was going to question that myself. But maybe he was Lum the Mad about cheese. They just shortened it to Lum the Mad. I'm unclear.
Could be the case. So Froghemoths, at the very least, if they are from another world, they're at least amphibians. Maybe that explains why they have so very little in common with an actual frog. So they produce asexually, and a froghemoth can lay eggs on its own, but only every few years. So it's pretty rare. The parent cares nothing for its eggs and is very likely to actually to eat them upon hatching.
Okay.
And the survival of young is dependent on the indifference of the parent and being left behind to fend for itself. So I think maybe if they hatch and the parent just happens to have already fed, it might be okay.
Right.
So it's pretty terrifying and fickle situation. The young who do survive will grow to full size in only months, and they indiscriminately prey on anything they can find as soon as they are hatched. It quickly learns to hide within deep, murky waters, keeping its eye stalk above the water to watch for passing prey, and then raucously leaps from its hiding pool, tentacles flailing and tongue wagging. The tentacles are used to grab and hold multiple creatures at bay, while the Froghemoth wraps its tongue around one at a time, devouring them.
I feel like that was a Tootsie Pop commercial in the 90s. I get it. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Going back to the beginning of our suite here, Bullywugs come into play ever so slightly here. They actually revere Froghemoths as divine entities. We briefly touched on it prior. If a tribe encounters one, they will do all they can to lure it into their den. And after a lot of effort, the Froghemoth can be tamed with offerings of food and basic communication with the Bullywug language. And a few Bullywugs are inevitably eaten throughout this process, though. In the they regularly feed it offerings and provide it a comfortable lair and protect it from harm with pure fanaticism. And they go well out of their way to ensure that the young actually do reach maturity. So, kind of.
What was the alignment on Bullywugs again?
I think they were chaotic evil or neutral evil.
Okay.
At least. So yeah, they see these things as primordial beings, and you might recall that the one god they tended to worship was Ramanos, who was known as the sleeping god, but is also believed to have possibly been a primordial rather than a god.
Right.
So we have some connecting threads there.
I like it. I mean, I think luring a Froghemoth to your home is probably a terrible idea.
You'd think. You'd think, yeah. But then they just let it sit there and get fat. And they protect it with, like I said, like pure fanaticism is the wording used, and they want more to be born and hatched and survive, but they don't seem to ever want to put them in harm's way, like use them as a tool for taking on a neighboring tribe or something like that. They don't put them to the use that they probably could.
Right. They're not the rain core of the Bullywug society.
Right. Yeah. They are basically a hapless god to them that does and offers nothing. It's kind of not very useful. We're going to touch for the second time now on Olmu, the Forbidden City of Chult.
Oh.
Yes. I kept my mouth shut when you mentioned it because I was like, ooh, I got something for that too. But here it is. Yeah. Of course, the city of Olmu is home to Olmuan culture. And according to Olmuan legend, Froghemoths were created by the primordial Ubteo, who we've discussed before as well, because he's the patron deity of Chult and the father of the dinosaurs.
Right.
Now, we have another reference to the trickster gods, which you mentioned. Was it Nang Nang? I think it was.
Yeah, Nang Nang, one of the 9 trickster gods.
Yeah. So Papazotl, is one of the 9 trickster gods as well, who took the form of an eblis, which is a heron-like bird. And
they're very common in Egyptian iconography.
Are they? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because that comes up in the loosest way Egyptian does a little bit later on. That's cool. Okay. Basically, it said that Papazotl discovered Ubteo had forsaken the Olmuans and sent Kubazan, another of the trickster gods, in the form of a toad to parley on behalf of the humans. Eblis sent this guy, and Papazotl. And Kubazan was enraged by his task and instead took to attacking Ubteo instead of trying to parley with the humans. And Ubteo was simply amused by his attempt and gave Kubazan tentacles to make him stronger, and thus creating the first Froghemoth. And when Kubazan returned to Papazotl with his tentacles, he was chased off into a swamp and abandoned and, exiled, I think.
Okay.
And so this is a kind of a weird, twisty, possible other origin story of Froghemoths.
Okay, I have a quick correction here to make on myself.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if an eblis is a real bird. The one I was thinking of was an ibis.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought, or tot, however it's pronounced.
The ibis or ibis, they're kind of famous in Australia. They're known as bin chickens because they're like hyper aggressive, and they basically just eat out of the trash bins in like local parks and stuff. And they're like all over Sydney. I've seen a few of them when I was there, and they're just like hated, this disgusting, dirty scavengers essentially. But they're big, like they're really sizable.
Crazy.
Yeah. If I remember, I'll try to post a link. There's a really funny song, comedy song about bin chickens. I'll try and post it somewhere. Cool. Maybe it'll go on our Twitter. But that's it for D&D lore.
I mean, what little you've given me, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's like simple and straightforward. It kind of gives you an idea of how mindless this creature is likely to be, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, it's cool though. I like the connection to Olmu and Kubazan, and I like that it essentially has like an origin story here ish. I dig it.
Like, well, I love the idea of them being found in metallic cylinders, but that really gets into like some Starjammer and like modern technology kinds of shit that I know you're not a big fan of oftentimes. But I dig it. I'm into it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I don't have, there's definitely no cultural lore for these creatures per se, but I decided I would fill out this episode with a couple of loose connections and or just fun facts about frogs in lore and history.
Okay.
And
I dig it.
So, of course, frogs play a variety of roles in culture, folklore, fairy tales, and whatnot. In ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, they were symbols of fertility. And after the fall of the old Babylonian Empire, the Kassite people ruled Babylonia. And cylinder seals have been found from the Kassite period that have frogs adorning them, perhaps referencing the cylindrical chambers the Froghemoths were supposedly found in. Very, very loose connection there, but there you go.
Interesting.
In Egypt, the association with fertility was thanks to the annual flooding of the Nile, resulting in millions of new frogs every year. And of course, one of the plagues of Egypt, the second plague specifically from the Bible, was frogs, which fits nicely in with the fact about them being, coming into these annual reproduction cycles in the Nile. And then Hecate, the goddess of fertility, Egyptian goddess, was depicted as a frog or a woman with a frog's head.
Yes, I knew that. I never put the plague and the spawning of frogs together. I think that's a really
I didn't
neat
know
connection.
that annual spawning happened. But the annual flooding I kind of knew about. Really kind of a neat little tidbit there. There was also a lesser known Egyptian god called Kek. That was depicted as a frog as well, and he was the deification of the concept of primordial darkness. So there we have a little reference to primordialness. The Greeks and Romans also associated frogs with fertility as well as harmony and promiscuity. And there was a mock epic poem called The Combat Between the Frogs and the Mice. And it is commonly attributed to Homer, but it is specifically a parody of the Iliad. And I'm going to read the plot summary that's from the Wikipedia page because I think it's hilarious. I think it's great.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm also going to not say these names right because they're a little weird. But Sycarpax, the mouse prince, having escaped a hunting cat, stops by the shore of a lake to drink and encounters the frog king, Physignathus. Physignathus offers to show Sycarpax his kingdom on the other side of the lake, and the mouse agrees. Sycarpax climbs onto the frog king's back, and Physignathus begins to swim across the lake. In the middle of the lake, they are confronted by a frightening water snake. Physignathus dives, forgetting about Sycarpax, who cannot swim, and thus drowns. On the bank, another mouse witnesses Sycarpax's death and informs the other mice, who arm themselves for battle to avenge the Frog King's treachery and send a herald to the frogs with a declaration of war. The frogs blame their king, who altogether denies the incident. In the meantime, Zeus, seeing the brewing war, proposes that the gods take sides, and specifically that Athena help the mice. Athena refuses, saying that mice have done her a lot of mischief. Eventually, the gods decide to watch rather than get involved. A battle ensues, and the mice prevail. Zeus summons a force of crabs to prevent the complete destruction of the frogs. Powerless against the armored crabs, the mice retreat, and the one-day war ends at sundown.
My only issue with this is that we're taught the Iliad in school and not this.
I love all that detail. And it's like all they go through all these motions, the gods got to decide, and they ultimately don't decide, and then it just turns out it all happened in a single afternoon. It cracks me up.
That's something else. I really like that.
Yeah.
I hope that Homer and or his writing troupe wrote that.
Yeah. The only things I have are, Aesop was known for a lot of fables featuring animals, so there was a lot that featured frogs. Aristophanes wrote a comedy play called The Frogs, though I don't know anything about it. Indo-European mythology associated frogs with the underworld, and through that, sickness and death. And folk religions and occultism have associated frogs with witchcraft. And as an ingredient in love potions. Also, tales like The Frog Prince by Brothers Grimm have been around for ages.
Okay.
There is a poem and or folk song that could be sung in a round that was first published in 1922 with an unclear origin. And it is called What a Queer Bird. Queer being, the older, more original definition in this case, given the time period. And talks about the...
Singular, unique.
Yes, strange or odd. So the poem talks about the attributes of a frog from the perspective of a bird. And Bill Murray recited a version of this poem to David Letterman when David Letterman won the Mark Twain Comedy Prize.
Of course he did. What a
And I
weirdo.
watched the video earlier today. It's the whole thing is actually really funny. The poem is like probably the least funny part of it, but it's still really fun. And the poem goes like this: "What a queer bird the frog are. When he sit, he stand, almost. When he walk, he fly, almost. When he talk, he cry, almost. He ain't got no sense, hardly. He ain't got no tail, neither, hardly. He sit on what he ain't got, hardly." That's it.
Okay, that's it. That's
It's
why would anybody want to sing that in a round?
I don't know. Makes me want to put the choir back together.
I guess none of it makes any sense whatsoever.
I like that when he walk, he fly, almost, because they hop. They don't really walk, right? When he talk, he cry. It sounds like a big old moaning sound, I guess, maybe.
Okay. I mean, why are you comparing frogs to birds to begin with? The thesis of this poem is flawed.
Just a bit of fun. Okay, let's not get back into a science episode. Okay, it's not a thesis. There's no theories happening here. Just accept it, James. Just accept it.
Okay. As long as we can move on.
It'll hurt
real
less.
quick.
You just accept it. Anyway, I'm so cheerful about all that silly stuff. It's completely unrelated. I loved it. Anywho,
And frog legs are delicious.
I've never had them.
There's my addition.
Yeah, never had them. They taste like chicken?
No. I mean, I hate that. I hate that so much because that's just what people use when they don't know how to describe the texture or the consistency of something. Sharks have, sorry, not sharks. Frogs have a very gamey texture, but they have a very light flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you mixed deer and quail together, it would have the texture of deer, but the flavor profile of quail. It's really quite dainty.
Weird.
Yeah, they're good.
Dainty frog meat.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's not like really, really flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
It takes on the flavor of what you put in it. That's why, like, traditionally poultry is used when you don't want flavor, you want protein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
Except for, like wild turkey or like, hens or squabs or whatever.
Yeah.
But the primary purpose of chicken in a dish is you want protein, but you don't want flavor. It's everything you're putting on the chicken that gives it its flavor. And it's pretty similar with the frog legs.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they're good though.
You know what probably goes really good with frog legs? Beer.
What's that? Beer.
But I assume that about most things. I like beer.
I also like beer, and I think I was drinking beer when I had those frog legs. It was at a very famous. I'm gonna say Asian because I don't remember what ethnicity it's specified in a restaurant in Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's dumplings.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good.
Sweet. Well,
as is this delicious black male stout. Quite good.
I was wondering if you're going to say it because our past two episodes, I don't know if you noticed, we didn't mention black male stout.
I know I didn't last time.
Yeah.
Because I was just kind of blowing through it.
I'm pretty sure we didn't in Bullywugs either. I don't know. But, I mean, I think our listeners by now understand that all of our episodes are not brought to you by Black Male Stout.
Yeah. Inspired by.
The old liquid courage to start a podcast. Let's get into the Froghemoth. Big old tentacly thing. I like making you guess the CR. What do you think?
I don't know, man. Like after Bullywug and Grung, I'm prepared to be disappointed. So, but I did find a bunch of good pictures of ibis.
Yeah,
so,
I see that.
I just bombarded our chat with photos of ibis.
Most of them eating out of the garbage.
Yeah. There's one that I really like, and it's level 1, and then level 20 is just a picture of a flamingo.
Yeah. Level 1 bin chicken. Level 20 bin chicken. Oh, you found a magic card too or something.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a Pokemon card.
Okay.
But
funny.
But I don't know for sure. I've never seen it.
I mean, I guess before we get into the mechanics here, we can talk about the artwork here. It's all pretty consistent. They seem to be lacking from 4E, but we have 1, 2, 3, and 5, and they're all very similar. Shockingly so, I think.
Yeah, so you remember when we touched on the Gary Gygax buying a bag of toys from Godzilla and creating a bunch of monsters based on those? Yep. I'm 100% sure that's where this 1E art for the Froghemoths came from. It's so insane, but clearly designed to like fit a human body inside
right.
it, you know?
Yes. Like it's a costume.
Yeah, like totally. It looks like a costume.
Yeah. It really does.
Like if Brian Steele isn't in there, I'll be shocked.
But yeah, they're all true to form, guys. Just like big old frog legs, nasty teeth. Most of the pictures have tongues, eye stalks, 3 eyes.
I really like the 3 art on this one, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I really like
it's
it.
Got
I like
a much
pose.
stronger,
Its pose is very dynamic.
Much stronger frog vibe. Like much stronger. It doesn't have front
and
legs,
that weird,
but it is kind of like leaning over on them like a frog would.
Yeah, and it's got like those 4 tentacles, and it's got like very frog inspired feet comparatively. Mm-hmm. And I like its eye stalk. It kind of reminds me of a creature from Star Wars, and I can't think of what the creature is called.
Yeah, the Ithorians, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Is that what they're called?
Ithorians, yeah. Yeah, they have the head that kind of like swoops out and comes up, and the eyes are like kind of disjointed on the sides.
Yes, but that's not what I'm thinking.
Oh, really?
Of. I'm thinking of something called a Gran, but also like kind of mixed with the Ithorians.
Those guys, yeah, okay, yes, like a combo of those two.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll post those pictures.
Gran are known as the 3-eyed space cow.
When this guy meets this guy, we get a Froghemoth.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool. Well, the only other thing to mention, I think, is that in the 5e art, there you can at least get a sense of the size because he is holding an adventurer with the sword in hand, and it looks pretty terrifying.
Is that 1 or is that 2 adventurers?
It's just the 1. I can see why it would look like 2, but that's like his arm or hand up out of the tentacle grip, and
oh yeah, I see it now.
It kind of looks like a head, so I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, they're all really good photos, but I really like that 3 one. I like that like protruded eye stalk there.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, CR, guess what do you got?
I'm ready to be disappointed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go high, but I'm still gonna go like middling.
Mm-hmm.
With an 8.
Okay.
I think it's about a 7 or an 8.
You're not far, but it's actually a 10.
Really?
Which really spells to me just how many Bullywugs are going to die trying to bring this thing into the den.
All of them.
Like all of them. Yeah, pretty much. It's ridiculous. CR10, HP 184. So pretty high. A 30-foot land and swim speed. And low AC, though, 14 with natural armor. They are huge in size, so second highest, I think it is. And they are a monstrosity, specifically.
Oh, you lost me.
Yep.
I'm fucking... Oh, why would you do that?
With the idea of them being, alien, I would think aberration, based on what we've talked before. But these seem...
Well, that's what aberration reflects,
right.
As does... Yeah, I mean, I guess monstrosity probably fits the best.
I would say monstrosity fits the origin story of the trickster gods, and then aberration would fit the origin story of them having come through these metallic cylinders from space or something.
Or from another dimension or something. But yeah, okay. I mean, it's not my favorite.
They do not speak any languages. Though you might be safe to assume that the Bullywug language would transfer through slightly in those basic ideas like they do with the local fauna. They are resistant to fire and lightning. They have a boost to saves on con and wisdom. They have boosts to skills on perception and stealth. And they do have dark vision. with a passive perception of 19.
Why do they have a boost to stealth?
I think it's because of their strategy of hiding in deep water and just like stock sticking out, and they just kind of sit there quietly waiting for the right moment, and then they don't try to sneak up on you though. They just try to like really surprise you. You got to get kind of close to the water and hopefully not spot the eye stalks, and then boom, they come out in a full rage.
Okay.
So I would think it's a bit debatable, but there it is, I guess. Their abilities include being amphibious, of course, so they can breathe water and air. And they do have an ability here that I rather like, and I wish was featured more. And it's called shock susceptibility.
You have my attention.
If hit with lightning, it suffers multiple effects until the end of its next turn, bearing in mind that it's resistant to lightning. Its speed is halved, its AC is reduced by 2, and its dex saves as well. It cannot use reactions or multi-attack, and on its turn it can use an action or bonus action, but not both. Severely limited when struck with lightning.
Yeah.
But resistant to the damage from that rubbery hide.
Right. Did we get a reason for that in the lore that I missed while I was looking up trash chickens?
No, we did not. We did not.
Okay. Just a neat mechanic they decided to include. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. I just wish there was something to justify that in the lore, other than the fact that being struck by lightning fucking sucks. Apparently,
right? Yeah. I mean, I wonder. I mean, it does describe them as having a rubbery hide, so that almost kind of justifies the lightning resistance. And then this here, mayhaps because they're most likely to jump out of the water at you, like they're going to be covered in water when they first attack you, so maybe that adds to the effect. I'm not really sure. Maybe there's something about rubber being struck in general by lightning that it might be like sort of resistant to it, but also I'm sure it has a tremendous effect on said rubber.
Tends to melt, I think.
Yeah. So
because rubber is an insulator. It's why you want rubber-soled shoes or to get into your car with the rubber tires. Yeah. That last one might be an old wives' tale, but it's because rubber does insulate against electric shock.
Yeah, so they won't pass through onto something else is the idea, but doesn't mean rubber is not affected by the said strike. So maybe that's just what they were going for.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it starts to melt, and that's why its speed is halved. It slows down. Becomes a little more wobbly. But otherwise, they do have multi-attack, which includes 2 tentacle and 1 tongue or bite attack.
All right.
And tentacles are plus 10 to hit, 20-foot reach. And
I like that.
Yeah, 3d8 plus 6 bludgeoning. And the target is automatically grappled if struck with an escape DC of 16. And it can grapple things that are huge or smaller. So it can grapple something the same size as itself.
Interesting.
Yeah. Froghemoth cannot use a grappling tentacle while in use, of course. So once it grapples, that tentacle can no longer attack. So you got to kind of keep track. They only got the 4.
Right.
So it could do 2 of those really quick, and then it could bite as well, which is a plus 10 to hit, 3d10 plus 6 piercing. And if the creature is medium or smaller, they can be swallowed whole. If you were swallowed, it is a blinded. You are blinded and restrained. Have total cover against attacks and effects outside of the creature's belly, and you take 3d6 acid damage at the start of the Froghemoth's turn. The Froghemoth can hold up to 2 creatures inside at a time, and if dealt 20 damage or more from the inside with a single attack, the Froghemoth needs to roll a con save or regurgitate everyone inside, each creature falling prone within 10 feet of it. If the Froghemoth dies, the creature inside no longer restrained and may exit prone with 10 feet worth of their movement.
I like it.
Yeah. So swallow whole is a cool and scary thing we don't see terribly often, but I like it. But in the case of the option between the tongue and the bite, the tongue is also a 20-foot reach, and a medium or smaller creature must make a DC 18 strength save. And if they fail, a creature is pulled into an unoccupied space within 5 feet. The Froghemoth can then bite as a bonus action. So that order of operations is pretty gnarly because you can...
2 tentacle, tongue, and a bite.
Yeah, you can do that all in one round.
Wow.
Plus a 30-foot movement if you need to. And so at a 20-foot distance, they can tentacle you, pull you in, bite you, swallow you, all in one go.
So if you're within 50 feet of this creature, you are fucked.
You are in severe danger. Yeah. But that's it. It's like a pretty straightforward creature. The swallowed thing, because it's not very common, it might be the sort of thing that you get easily tripped up on, but it's not overly complicated. Don't overthink it. And just remember the capsule.
I actually really like that version of the swallowed, 20 damage or more from inside with a single attack. I like the single attack modifier, so you don't have to track 2 different HP.
Yeah.
I also think it might be worth upping that amount of damage depending on, what your party's output is at level 20.
Yeah.
Or at level 10. But other than that, I honestly can't find a fault in this creature's build.
I think one of the things that stands out is the restrain condition. I always forget the details on that versus like things like stunned, but you'll have a disadvantage in your attack rolls. So when you're inside that belly, maybe that's why I wouldn't increase the damage necessary for that, because you're actually going to struggle to hit to begin with. Even though you're in a cramped space, you would think it would be kind of easy, but to get the angle properly would be probably really hard. And so you have disadvantage on set attack roll, and then you have to hope that you don't do 19 or less. It's still going to be damage, which is good, but you're going to be stuck inside taking that acid damage.
Yeah, and it's no small amount of acid damage either.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
Sort of creature that's easy to up the danger of, though, at the end of the day. So you could increase that damage. You increase all these saves easily enough, increase the damage of the acid, so on and so forth. Make a gargantuan version of this. And have it give it a 25 or 30 foot reach. Oh.
I don't honestly see myself ever changing the tongue or the tentacle DCs. I think those are absolutely spot on and maybe even a little high, which is a nice change of pace. Yeah, I mean, if I were to change that internal damage, it wouldn't be much. It would be 5 or 10, 25 or 30.
Yeah. I think maybe
if you've got a barbarian with a two-handed weapon and 20 strength, maybe not. Yeah, maybe 20 is about right. Cuz D12 plus, 5 is at max 17, so maybe 20 is right.
Yeah. I almost wonder if a thing that could be added or something that might be missing is what we covered in the Roper episode, in that they had tendrils, which are, I guess, probably longer. They're longer and thinner, even just by the look of the artwork. They have a 50-foot reach, but they also had an AC and hit points and immunities to poison and psychic. So you could lop one off. The thing with the Roper is that, they could grow them back pretty much, first thing next round. But I think it'd be cool to have the opportunity to slice off a tentacle, especially if you're grabbed by it.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really solid homebrew. Yeah. Same with the tongue, I think, too, even.
Yeah. Maybe have a regeneration over, if the Froghemoth manages to escape it, in one day, it'll regenerate those limbs or something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I might even put an arterial bleed kind of mechanic on the tongue.
Yeah.
AC 18, 12, 20 HP or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it gets hit, the frog will bleed out in 1d4 -1 rounds or something like that.
Right.
Just to give it some sort of weakness, right? I don't see. This is a really deadly encounter.
Yeah.
Even one on 4, this is going to be a deadly encounter, and I like that. But if my players are creative enough to go for something like the tongue, I might give them a little puzzle break there.
Yeah,
and just be like, okay,
sure.
the tongue starts spurting blood and goes down in 1d4 -1 rounds or 1d4 +1 rounds or whatever you think. But yeah, this is dangerous, man, because it can attack. Technically, it can attack 5 PCs.
Hell yeah. And it just like those tendrils from the roper, and it said in the lore even, it's meant to hold creatures at bay. So when you're grappled, that restrained also means you have no movement speed. You cannot move yourself, and that tongue is the part of it that can move you. So it's kind of mitigating it a little bit. The tentacles will keep you where you are. The tongue is what will bring you in, and then the bite is what will allow you to swallow it. So it is sort of a one at a time thing, but it doesn't mean it's not dangerous. It's exceptionally dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen in one round, right? So if you let's say you throw a tentacle at your fighter, the tentacle hits, the fighter is grappled. The Froghemoth then uses its tongue because it now has disadvantage on strength saves.
And
oh no, maybe it doesn't.
I don't know how this plays. It doesn't really specify, but casting inside the belly, it's got to be difficult. I almost want to say you can't use any somatic component spells because you're trapped inside and you can't really move that well. But actually, maybe that's not fair because if you can swing a weapon, surely you can wiggle your fingers around, do the old jazz hands.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, if you're a bard, we might have some problems. You're gonna pull out your lute and start strumming. No, I don't think so. You want to do some slam poetry, then yeah, we can talk about it. But if you think you're getting your instrument out, if you think you're drawing anything from your pack or your back, not happening.
Yeah,
because you are essentially prone in here.
Yep.
And probably even squeezing. Is squeezing a rule in 5e?
Not really. No.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's just kind of covered under restrained. To a degree.
Creature can squeeze through a space that is large enough. It's just disadvantage on attack rolls and dex saves. Right. So, whatever. It's pretty straightforward. I don't find a whole lot of fault with this creature. It's going to go down really quickly, but
it's got a low AC that you can reduce. And if you have
and a low HP,
and the HP is it's for level 10, it's not that high.
No, I mean we're talking. I would say at most 3 rounds. This thing's going to be up, so don't pull your punches, DMs out there.
Yeah, a rock we covered is CR 11, and it's got 248 HP. So
yeah, I mean.
Pretty big jump.
Spoilers for Rime of the Frost, maybe. We learned this week how deadly a rock encounter can be at my hands.
Did we ever?
I killed 2 of my PCs in an encounter with a rock this week. Yeah. So,
yeah, we were fighting a lesser god, and that was the least deadly portion of that fight.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It was awesome, though.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite combats I think I've ever run in my life.
It was super fun. Maybe next the Froghemoth. Can you make an ice Froghemoth? Homebrew it in.
Maybe I'll just run Tomb of Annihilation next.
There you go.
A Sidorak is just a Froghemoth in a mask.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Froghemoth. Good stuff. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Quick and easy.
What do you think, creatures? Are you a fan of the Froghemoth? Do you think this is deadly? Do you think we're being too safe? How would you make this creature more deadly, or how would you give your PCs a cool out? You can get at us on our socials, Facebook and Twitter at EncounterPod, Instagram at Encounter.pod. You can check out any of the past episodes that we talked about, like Grung or Bullywug or The Rock, at our website at EncounterThis.ca. If you really like this episode, you can find us on patreon.com/encounterpod. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and help us produce better episodes for you. For $1 a month, you can have access to our private Discord. $5 a month gets you a handwritten thank you letter and access to our show notes. And for $10 a month, you can suggest a creature. Maybe there's something in Schult we didn't talk about in the last couple episodes that you really want us to see. So you can make us cover it that way, and it doesn't have to be from 5e. It can be from any system you would like that we can easily have access to the CRB and the monster manual of, because some of those things are getting harder and harder to find during our current pandemical climate.
True enough.
But if you have a quick second and you want to help us out for absolutely free, doing as little effort as possible, you can rate and review us on your platform of choice and tell a friend about this show. Maybe you've got a DM in your life who needs some help, or a GM. We don't discriminate between dungeon and game masters. You're all people to us, and we appreciate each and every one of you who sits behind the screen.
I have a tendency to, it's like an Xbox controller versus a PlayStation controller. I automatically translate where the X is according to what console I'm playing in my brain. I don't discriminate. I don't mix it up either. I don't know why. When I'm playing D&D or we're talking DD, I say DM. When we're doing Pathfinder, I say GM, and I don't think about it.
Here's your fun fact of the day. It's only Nintendo and Xbox that have an X. PlayStation has a cross.
Yeah, I know. Your pedantic technicality of the day.
I mean, why would it have one letter when it's got 4 symbols on it?
I know.
Actually, it has 2 letters on it, the R and the L, but
yeah. You know what I want to hear next from listeners? I want to hear your homebrew of the bin chicken hemoth. From the
I'm here for it.
The dummy plane of trash.
Ibisaurus Rex.
Okay, that's good for me.
All right, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week with the part 4 of Amphibruary.
Nailed it.
Take care until then. Bye.